What is going on, everybody? Happy Saturday afternoon to everyone who is here. If you guys are just now joining us, get your comments in and I will read those live on screen. I hope everyone is having a happy, safe weekend this weekend. Um, yeah, finale's around the corner. Finale Eve is tomorrow. Um, Fresh Show, excuse me, Fresh Show says, "Hey Bobby, did you see the BB27 Friday clip show?" I did not. So if it's the normal, them sitting around the table drinking champagne and reminiscing about the season, I absolutely hate that episode. The recap of the recap, as it's been coined. If it's that, I did not watch it. I work nights, and then I came home last night and crashed because I was exhausted. I normally don't do Saturday streams, but I figured because I can't go live immediately after the finale tomorrow because I'll be at work. I was like, it's the eve of Big Brother ending. I might as well hop on here for even just a little bit. I got the little one over here in the corner watching her tablet. She will be jumping in here in a bit to say hello. She's been wanting to say hello to everyone all day, so be ready for that. And apologies ahead of time, but she's a lot of fun. What's up, Juan? Juan's in here. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Happy Saturday to you as well, my friend. Like I said, normally don't do Saturday shows. Usually use this time to hang out with the little one. But we're on the eve of the Big Brother finale, so I figured I might as well get some extra content in. Fresh show, Bobby. Can you watch the clip show? Too much comedy I want to drop, but it's not funny if you don't watch it. Uh, I'll have to look it up. Was it on CBS? Was it part of was it like a Friday CBS show? Or was it somewhere else? I'll have to see because I can't really show copyright material on stream, but I'll have to see if I can watch it on the side. All right, so I have I might have Lauren Pratt from Reality After Show dropping in here in a bit to say what's up and join the chat as well. It was Friday CBS show. Okay. Well, yeah, I wish I would have saw it. Sorry about that. I didn't even know. I didn't even know about it. It's been crazy week, especially with everything. What's up, Arturus? To cover your bases, invent an Ashley Vorgan cocktail. 4 extra tips. # watch party. You know what? Honestly, it's not a bad idea. I can make a cocktail. Let's see here. So if I were to make, as a bartender, if I were to make a cocktail that would be representative of this season or like an Ashley Vorgan cocktail, the thing is, I guarantee you 99% of the people that come to my bar would have no idea what that cocktail would be. But if I were to make a cocktail, it'd probably be an LA water because, and for those of you that don't know what an LA water is, it's basically a Long Island with Midori, Chambord, and what else is in there? It's a mixture of a bunch of things. I mean, I make it like once or twice a year, but it's just like everything wrapped up into one. It'll get you drunk, but it's kind of tastes like shit. It's kind of a good representation of the season. Guys, if you guys are just now joining, get your comments, concerns up in the chat. We are going to be talking about who we think is going to win and like where the votes may lie. We're also going to be talking about as far as who won the first part HOH, who won the second part HOH, and who do we think out of those two will win the third part HOH. So if you guys are new here, give us a like, give us a follow, hit the sub button, hit the bell notification so you're notified whenever I go live. And like I said, sorry, I knocked the camera there for a second. Stop moving. And yeah, so we're going to be discussing it all. So let's see here. What is to recap, LOL? Not much, but I figured I'd go live anyway, Maria. I was like, you know what? I gotta go live so that because it's the eve of Big Brother 27. There is a little bit to catch up on though. For those of you that don't know, spoilers ahead. Fair warning right now. Part 1 of the HOH competition. We found out Morgan won part 1 of the HOH competition. No surprise there. So HOH number 2 came, excuse me, came down to Vinny, the Lip, and Ashley. And as we know in all season, Ashley just cannot win anything, right? Like that is not her forte, is playing in these competitions. And we went on to find out that Ashley somehow won part 2 of the HOH competition. So now we have part 3 HOH coming up tomorrow night live on the finale. Morgan versus Ashley. Who will win? And honestly, the more and more I watch like the feeds and like the information on Twitter and stuff, Vince is freaking out. Vince is absolutely freaking out right now, right? So Vince is on high alert. He thinks that there's a chance Morgan will not take him to the final 2. And honestly, she's not giving him anything, right? She's not giving him anything to make him feel otherwise. So there is a chance that Morgan takes Ashley just to sure up her votes and make sure that Vinny doesn't get any. I think she's overthinking it. I think that she'd be smarter to take Vinny. It's a smash win for Morgan. I still think it's a smash win regardless, but I feel like it's an even clearer win up against Vinny, who you've run most of his HOHs. You've been right there, beside him, and you've won all these competitions. Like I feel like you have much better jury management. I think that is the right way, but she is kind of saying on the feeds that it's a 50-50 draw for her who she takes to the final. Let's see what Fresh Show said. In the Friday Clip Show, Ashley said Katy Perry flew to the moon, and she said, why would the newspaper lie? People are very uninformed on what happened there. They went into space for 30 seconds and came back. When she kissed the ground, I was just dying. I was like, just stop. On Friday's show, there was a segment of diary room requests. Morgan asked for hair dye so her white hairs don't show. Okay. I gotta watch this now. Ma'am. Diary room requests. Adrian asked for 3-foot pink toilet paper. I've never heard of 3-foot pink toilet paper in my life. What the hell is going on with these people? But yeah, like I said, guys, if you guys are new here, if you guys are just now joining, get your comments read live here on stream. We'll be talking about the finale, who we think will win, where the votes may lie, and we will be talking about the final 3 HOH. So let me get back to the final 3 HOH. It's going to be Ashley versus Morgan for the third part HOH. I think that Morgan's got it wrapped up, but man, if Ashley can just sit down and study or think about what could possibly be the answers from the jury, depending on what the competition is. Sometimes they change it up every once in a while. But I think Ashley could actually win this, right? And realistically, her best bet, right? And I'm really bummed that my ideal outcome isn't going to be able to transpire now, where Vince wins the final 2 HOH or final 3 HOH and takes out Morgan and then loses, pisses off Morgan. She doesn't want anything to do with him, and then finds out he doesn't have a girlfriend and he loses to Ashley. That would just be the best, be the icing on the cake. But realistically, if Ashley wins and takes out Morgan, which we all plan for that to happen, Ashley's going to be the winner of the season. I'm telling you right now, Ashley's going to be the winner of the season. Mary, I'm right there with you. I'm ready for this to be over too. I'm so ready for this to be over, but we'll see what happens. Juan says Morgan has one hand on the cash. She can beat both. Ashley needs to take Morgan to go up against Vince and needs a good speech. Vince is second place with Morgan or needs to crush the speech against Ashley. I think no matter what, I really think no matter what, Vince is losing. I really do. Because if Ashley has it on her resume that she took out the biggest comp beast in Morgan, yeah, Vince has won a lot of competitions, but Vince has pissed off a lot of the jury. A lot of the jury. And I think Ashley, even though she played, not the best physical game or competition-based game, She did have a great social strategy. She did have a lot of relationships that are in this jury. And then on top of all of that, she takes out Morgan. Like I just don't see a way she doesn't win. And I'm here for it. How it would be much more satisfying for an Ashley win over a Vince win. Morgan, honestly, Morgan probably deserves it the most out of anyone. But I still would like to see Ashley win, and just that would be like the perfect cap on this season. Mother Ashley about to win. We'll see. We'll see. She's got to beat Morgan. She's got to beat Morgan in this final 3 HOH competition. The third part HOH competition. If she doesn't beat Morgan, there's no way. There's no way. My personal diary room request, I want to keep my voodoo doll, use it in last night's veto meeting. The voodoo doll's not super weird. I feel like the voodoo dolls are super weird. I don't know. It was just like they never cease to amaze me with the shit they come up with. Ashley, to me, hasn't done enough. She's been in Rachel's shadow for most of the game, and after she left, she positioned herself in a good spot. I get that, and I understand why people would have a hard time with her as a winner, and then because obviously she'd be a bottom 3 winner all time for sure. That's without a joke, without a doubt. Excuse me. Morgan would be actually probably, a pretty decent winner for this season. At first, I didn't feel that way, but I've come full circle. But the thing is, she's had really good jury management. At the end of the day, you get yourself to final 3. You did something right to position yourself in that position, right? And once Rachel went out, it could have been all over for Ashley. But she had established her bonds, and she kept those bonds strong even when her back was against the wall or she wasn't winning anything. So she was never a main target for anyone. Granted, it's also because she didn't win a lot of competition, so people weren't as threatened by her. But look at her now. All it matters is down the stretch, you pull out the wins when you need to. And this is the most valuable time for Ashley to pull out a win. So if we really look at it, like we can go over all the votes and where we think everything's going to fall. And I'm telling you guys, I think that the votes could fall for Ashley in her favor. Give me 1 second. All right. So I've got someone joining me here in a second. Let's see when they get in, and we will discuss where the votes may lie. And then let me just pull this up. All right, cool. So with that being said, I think that Ashley absolutely has a chance. She absolutely has a chance to win this season. And if she takes out Morgan, who everyone believes is probably the front runner to win it all, absolutely. Ashley top 5. Oh, not a top 5 winner all time. No way. No way, Maria. There's no shot. Ashley and Will had the same game. Yeah. But like it's all about social strategy, right? And as much as I think the best player should win, and Vince definitely made a lot of the moves in the house with like Morgan basically running it, but like he did make moves. He did win a lot of HOHs, vetoes, what have you. The problem with Vince is he was so insecure and he was whiny. He backstabbed people. So when people constantly get backstabbed by you and you turn your back on them when they're trying to, be working with you, and you do nothing but put yourself first over them, then when people have the chance to reward you for your game, there's a real shot they could just not reward you and be like, you know what, screw you. Like, I really think that's going to happen here. I think Vince's jury management was very similar to Paul in Big Brother 19. Not only is the aesthetic there, the gameplay is essentially Paul's game from Big Brother 19. And once people were able to talk in the jury house, put it all together, look what happened to Paul. He lost to Josh. I mean, Josh of all people. Josh Martinez. Like, he lost to Josh Martinez. It's crazy. The guy that was walking around banging pots and pans. Dr. Will Are you talking about Ashley playing a Dr. Will game? If that's the case, you're crazy. What's up, Amy? How you doing? Welcome in. Like I said, guys, normally don't go live on Saturdays, but felt the need to talk about it since the finale is tomorrow. So decided to do a emergency stream here on a Saturday. Ooh, a famous guest? Not a famous guest. Hey, she's famous to me. She's famous around our parts. But it's Lauren Pratt from Reality After Show. She's a good friend of mine. She wanted to come and discuss this. She's a big fan of the show as well. So we will welcome her in and have her be a part of the conversation. Guys, get your comments in. I will read everything live here on stream. Ashley is definitely not top 5 and doesn't compare to Dr. Will, aka the GOAT. Yeah, it's not even close. Ashley is bottom 3. If she wins, she's bottom 3 all time, but I'm here for it. Like, I want her to win. Dr. Will didn't win because of strategy and relied on slick talking. Remember the vote me out, please, on All Stars? Yeah, and he famously didn't win any competitions. He went out of his way not to have that target on his back. So, absolutely. Oh, she is here. Let me pull this up. We are going to switch to that screen, and there we go. What's up,
going
Lauren?
on?
How doing?
Are you? Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here to talk about all of this. What a season, right?
What a season. What a long season, especially live streaming every day, trying to talk about this show. It's like, it's been a drag through the jury. That's for sure. But I do read all these comments live on stream, so bear with me. We will be discussing everything. I'm just going to catch up on these. Let's see here. Didn't win comps. Yep. What's up, Matthew? How you doing? Welcome in. Paul got second twice. Yeah, because Paul didn't know how to do the social strategy part of it, right? Like, Lauren, what do you think? Paul's game is very similar to Vince's game, in my opinion.
I agree with you there. And I think the difference is with Paul both times, I believe, thought he had it in the bag. And then when you got to the jury and answering the questions, some of Paul's answers just weren't hitting for the jury and what the jury was looking for. And I think Vince could also run into the same scenario if Vince is sitting at the end of the game too.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We have a Penelope sighting here. She wanted to say hi. So say hi to everybody. All right. You having fun? Yeah, you excited for Big Brother to be over? Who do you want to win, Ashley, Vince, or Morgan? I don't know. She's not a big fan. She's much more Survivor fan.
That's fair. I mean, after this season, I would have the biggest uptick in the Survivor direction.
Same here. So Penelope wanted to come say hi to the chat. Say hi, chat. All right. So let's I'm going to talk a little bit more about people's comments in here. Arturita says, De Lucy, Louis Maria, or Mary, that's Spanish. Will played with adults. Ashley was in the real world. Exactly. Like, the thing is, there is a difference between Ashley and Will's game. Will was, I think, even more likable than Ashley, and definitely played the social strategy more because he knew he had to, right? He knew he had to play the social strategy more than the physical comps because he wasn't going to compete with these young kids, but he did it flawlessly. Now, obviously, they saw that as a threat, where Ashley was more under the radar, in my opinion, about it. So that's how I feel about the comparison to Will and Ashley. And look, at Ashley got herself here to final 3. Did she get dragged? Quite possibly, but that's also on them for not seeing her as a real threat. Now, Vince is the one who very much so underestimated it. And honestly, Vince has been, I think he's lost this game since the final 5.
Vince, for me, it's so difficult when you're talking about, even if you lump Morgan into this as well, started off so strong and it was going somewhere and we're thinking, okay, these people know the strategy. They have it figured out. And then we get the progression of this show and it just completely shuts down to a whole nother level. I mean, even if you're looking at the live feeds, Vince has spiraled into a whole direction. And now you even see Morgan spiraling as well. Think about Ashley. At least Ashley is keeping a pretty level head going into this final round, which I think is a huge uptick in Ashley's direction.
Yeah, I agree. Mary says You're right. Ashley better than Dr. Will. Get out of here with that. Get out of
No.
here with that. Not even close. Maria, she usually likes to troll me a little bit with some of the comments. So, Fresh Show says Paul lost to Nicole Frankel. I think that's it. She had 2 showmances that season and worst voice. I can't stand her. I think a lot of people would agree with you on the voice. I actually met her in person. She was very nice, but yeah, no, I agree with the voice. Mary also says Ashley uses her social game to make it. Will is just more of a showmanship character, but essentially the same game. Very similar game. Don't get me wrong. Very, very similar game. Obviously, there's a reason they work together because I feel like they saw a lot of the same characteristics in each other. But I think that also, and I want to go back to Vince real quick because I said Vince lost the game at Final Five. More and more I think about it, Vince actually probably lost the game the moment he nominated Lauren to go on the block, right? Because then, one, he lost Lauren, which he still probably could have got Lauren had it not been for the double eviction, but he lost Lauren in that moment. Kelly, he already lost, but I feel like he really lost her after that moment. We saw both those people go home in the double. Then essentially he lost Keanu at the Final Five when Keanu was still willing to work with him after all the shit he put Keanu through. At what point does the social strategy not ring true in your head and be like, I've killed a lot of jury votes and I'm going to kill another one that's essentially, you let someone else take that shot, right? Like that should not be your shot to take. The thing is, Vince was so worried about constantly going on the block that he didn't care. He went all out to win those competitions just to make sure he wasn't nominated because he was in such fear of going home that then once he won the power, he was the one who had to essentially make the moves to get rid of these people or have it seem like Morgan is making those moves and he's just the guinea pig. So I feel like winning as much as he did really was to the detriment of his social game when he's trying to establish so many alliances and so many final twos. Then when you win the power and you're the one who has to take these people out or pick sides, that's going to ruin your social strategy and your ability to win the game at the end when those people are sitting on the jury.
Hitting the block is bad if you don't have allies that are willing to keep you safe. Vince hitting the block, probably the best thing for his game at points in time because there were enough people that would be willing to keep Vince in the game and he was never going to run into a scenario. Lauren's not getting rid of Vince. Morgan's not getting rid of Vince. You have people in your corner. It's bad for a Keanu to hit the block because Keanu doesn't have as many allies. So you have to play the game that is centered to what is going to make you successful because once you, as you said, get so much power, then you're having to make decisions on which ally am I keeping over the other. And then when you send that ally to jury, they're thinking they were with you the entire time and figuring out that you picked somebody else over them. Are they going to give you their jury vote? Maybe, maybe not. And you have to run that scenario through your mind.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can do it where people respect your game for making a big move, but when you constantly are being whiny and being like, oh, you shouldn't trust me, all this stuff, it's just like it comes across bad, right? And like, there's a way to play the game cutthroat, but also leave it where the person has a respect for how you played it because you took the shot. Right. But Vince has always made it be like, oh, I don't want to lose you as a friend and all this stuff. You can't play like that. If you play like that, people don't respect the move because then it's like, dude, I trusted you. If you really feel this way, why are you doing this? We saw that constantly with Keanu all season long when he continuously nominated him. And it got to the point where finally, when Keanu was finally getting knocked out of the house, he's like, man, Vince, I was with you all along. Like, what the hell, man? Like, what were we doing here? And that's just not the way to keep the jury on your side. It's crazy to me. Let's get a little more comments in here. Use multiple emails when voting Rachel for AFP. I mean, Humane Vitae, they have been like literally voting like 1,500 times a day. Like, good on you. I've only done a handful of votes. I'm a terrible fan and terrible friend too of Rachel's. Amy says, Ashley says she didn't want to come off too likable or like too much of a threat. She talked about it a lot last night in her cam talk when she was practicing her final speech. I think that's exactly what she needs to do. Like, I think she needs to play it like listen, I didn't want to be too likable, but I also didn't want to be too much of a threat. I wanted to coast in the middle. And then when I needed to, I won the competition that took out the biggest player of the game. And that's why I deserve your vote. Like, that's what she should say.
She has an avenue to potentially win this game. I mean, imagine you go from the whole showergate of it all, from the very beginning of the season to now you're finally here. And I think Ashley is going to be able to deliver a speech to win some jury members over potentially, because I can picture a Vince and he's probably just going to get in his head and shatter and crack. I see Vince cracking in front of that jury and answering, and then they're not going to be happy with the answer. I see that as a strong possibility. And Morgan, I think, could pick it up in the sense of turning it on and giving the jury what she thinks they want, but it could just come across not genuine to them.
And welcome in. If you guys are here just now joining us, we got 35 people here in the live stream. Guys, if you guys can, get your comments in here. Give us a like, give us a follow, hit that bell notification so you're notified whenever we go live. Even after Big Brother, we'll be going live on my live stream talking about Survivor, the challenge, what have you, other shows, Amazing Race. We will be talking about it all. So just know once Big Brother ends, it does not end here at Reality After Show. Also, you can follow me, twitch.tv/Bobby Goodsby. Give me a follow on there. Helps me out a lot. Lauren's in here hanging out with us today to talk about the finale around the corner tomorrow and to get some more of these comments. Just a quick question, Lauren. You can't hear my daughter's tablet in the background, can you?
We can. We hear you. We're locked and loaded.
All
locked
right, good. Just making sure. It's loud to me, but I know this mic only picks up so much. All right, Juan says, Ashley hid behind Rachel for most of the game. She positioned herself in the right spot. Dr. Will played his social strategy very aggressively. Yeah, I don't think I think it's apples and oranges, those two games. It's not even close. Sri, what's up? Thank you for joining the chat. Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday afternoon. Dr. Will is overrated. Social bias helped him so much as a white man. Let's not pretend. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was a different day and age back then, too. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't disagree with you there. But I would say Dr. Will's game is also regarded amongst the community as one of the best games to ever play. But I do see there being some bias, especially back when this was, 2001. It's just a different day and age as well.
It's so hard to compare previous reality shows. If you're going anywhere, I would say before 2010, maybe it's way different then than it is now. So it's hard to compare that. It really is. And
social media wasn't a thing. It's a whole, everything was what it is. I mean, we barely had cell phones back then, right?
Right.
It's just a different world. Fresh Show says, what Morgan wants, Morgan gets. Vince should have kept Ava. Now he's regretting it after losing the second HOH comp. Yeah, but I mean, Vince was pretty much screwed regardless, right? Yes, I did argue that was it better to keep Ava because of the fact that maybe Ashley's just a little bit more of a physical threat when it comes to the competitions. But honestly, Ashley hasn't shown anything all season as to why she'd be a threat in any competition. So it was really a, pick your poison, really. Pam says, hi, I missed the start of this live. What's up, Pam? Welcome in. Good to have you. Thank you for joining as always. Starla says, Morgan deserves to win, not Ashley nor Vince. No, I agree with you. I think the most deserving winner this season is 100% Morgan. I'm just throwing out the facts that if Ashley wins part 3 of the HOH competition, right, which we know right now, it's Morgan won part 1, Ashley beat Vince in part 2. It's going to come down to Morgan and Ashley for part 3. If Ashley wins part 3, she 100% will take out Morgan. And when she does, I think she just made the biggest move of the season, taking out the clear and obvious winner. And Vince has backstabbed so many people. I just don't see how Ashley doesn't win.
That's the only way Ashley has a chance to win, is if she takes Vince then. And she clearly knows that. She will if she does not evict Morgan after winning part 3 of HOH, goes down as one of the dumbest players ever, period. It's a dumb move. It would remind me of the scenario of where Wu doesn't take out Tony in Survivor Cagayan. It would be the same parallel for me.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Kai Kamal, what's going on? You both look NPC. Well, I hope that's a non-playable character. I'll take it. Whatever. Put me in Grand Theft Auto. I'm calling for it. All right. Amy says, I have a feeling they're able to check if it's coming from the same device, so I'm not wasting my time on that one. I'm voting with my regular email, though. Hey, vote however you want. Honestly, I put in like 5 votes or whatever the max is, like 20 votes or whatever. I just like, it's going to happen regardless. Like there's people that are putting all these votes out there. Like I just don't have the time or dedication for it, but good on you if you do. Have you voted for AFP?
I have, but I'm not voting a million times as we're seeing with some of these people here in the comment section. Listen, if you're able to do so, go for it. If you are so gung-ho about this specific person winning, I support. I do. I just don't personally have the time to keep submitting vote after vote.
Yeah, Pam says, I'm voting every day for Keanu. Now, that actually brings up a good question. Who do you think, Lauren, will win AFP? And I'm 50-50. Who do you think?
I see that. I see the 50-50 there. I'm going to say I think Rachel wins, but I do think Keanu puts up a big enough fight to be just almost in the mix to win America's favorite player. I think Rachel just has so much more of a following. People love Rachel's game from when she won the first time. So I think, and I also think people are going to factor in the way when Rachel went out this season. I think if Rachel goes out another way, potentially hitting the block and actually being evicted from the season, we could see Keanu maybe being in the mix even more to have the win.
I mean, I came out strong saying I think it'll be Rachel, and then I started to like see more sides of why Keanu. Now, don't get me wrong, I'll be happy with either one, and I think it's gonna really it's a 2-horse race, right? It's Keanu or it's Rachel. I think that Rachel definitely has the years and years of being on television and has the fandom that came in through. People from other shows even came to watch Big Brother just because Rachel is on this season. They've never seen a season of Big Brother before, but they knew Rachel was playing and they came on to play. The problem for Rachel is Rachel went out first in jury, and that was so long ago that people that were in love with Rachel have tuned out of the show, or were only here for Rachel, have tuned out of the show. So are they really paying attention to vote for AFP? And then Keanu, had his back against the wall. It really is a 50-50 in my mind. I think it could go either way. Sri says, Ashley was crazy under-edited this season. The judges was literally all her, considering Will played yes man and Rachel just fought with and put up with Morgan. I think Rachel did a lot of the heavy lifting for that alliance, especially bringing in Morgan and Vince to be as comfortable as they were. Like if Rachel doesn't put up that fight, I don't feel like we have the judges alliance lasting till the end, right? I think that someone breaks that up, but because those ties were so strong before Rachel went out, I think that's what solidified where we got to this final 3. Humane says, I think Ashley beats Morgan 4-3 and votes of Rachel, Will, Keanu, and Ava. I just don't think it'll happen. I don't think Keanu will vote for Ashley. I think he will vote for Morgan because he knows she's the best winner. I think Rachel, even though she loves Ashley, at the end of the day, I think Rachel will be like, game and respects game. Like, you played the best game. How can I not give it to you? Right? Because she knows. Some of these people might not know. They might not understand, but like, she doesn't want to be looked at as a bitter jury, right? Like, I don't see it. What do you think?
I agree with that, because if Rachel's sitting in that final spot, she wants people to vote for her because she played the best game, not because she's Rachel, this and that. And I think she's going to see that if Ashley is sitting next to a Morgan. I believe Rachel will vote for Morgan because, as you said, you don't want to be seen, I just voted for my friend because they were my friend. Rachel wants the best game player of the season to win. And as Rachel went out this season, said, show me the gameplay, make moves. I'm not going to be easy on you. And I think that was a thing sent directly to the Wills and the Ashleys of the world. Even Keanu basically saying, Keanu, do not disappoint me. She's rooting for Keanu, and they were fighting all season long. So she's going to vote for the best game player.
I agree. Ashley hasn't done anything besides act dumb. I would never want her as a lawyer.
Jeez.
What has Ashley really done in this game besides float? Don't get me wrong. She floated a lot of the way. The problem isn't about Ashley and her gameplay. It would be the major factors of she took out the biggest threat in Morgan. And 2, Vince was so unlikable and pissed off so many people on the jury that people don't want to vote for him as the representative of the season. They'd rather give it to Ashley because they hate Vince so much. It's more a Vince hate thing than an Ashley deserve thing. If that's how I could say it. I got to kind of buzz through some of these because we're falling behind in the chat. Who would y'all vote for America's least favorite player? Riley.
Yeah, it's got to be Riley. There's no question in my mind. And now if we're voting for someone recent, Vince, right?
Yeah, Vince is up there. Vince might beat Riley at this point just because Vince has lasted all season. It's either Vince or Riley.
It's a toss up. Either one I just don't want. So
yeah.
If I can vote for two, let's just vote for two here.
I agree. Mary says Ashley has been playing the social game by all means. She should not be in the final three. If she was doing nothing, it would be Will, Kelly, or Ava just by default. I really think Vince has pissed off too many people. All right. So Amy says, unfortunately, I think Keanu is going to win AFP. I'm Team Rachel myself. I'm Team Rachel as well. I'm happy with either. Rachel's my friend, so I'm obviously rooting for her personally. But if Keanu wins, he deserves it too. I have nothing against Keanu winning it as well.
Same. If Keanu takes it, I'm good with that as well. Those are the two I'd be fine winning it. Everybody else we know has 0% chance to win.
Humane says, at least use multiple emails when voting. Really about the multiple emails. The casuals are 90% of the vote, so it's going to be Keanu. It definitely could be, but I still think the casuals love Rachel. They love Rachel because they recognize her on their screen, and she played a good game, right? Like, if she came in and just played dog shit, then people also really feel bad for Rachel, how she was taken out. So that's another contributing factor. So there's a few things there. Kelly, and then the show had done everything in their power to drag Rachel and make her the villain who got just their dessert. I don't know. I really don't feel like she got that bad of a villain arc at the end of her tenure on Big Brother 27. I feel like they had to save themselves a little bit, but I don't think it was as bad as people make it out to be. Go ahead.
No, I don't think so either. And the fact of the matter alone is it still stings to me because the season was so good, and then we had that moment and just it feels as though it's crumbled, which is why I want some excitement with this final three. I want Ashley to win part 3 just for us to see something different and something that's not predictable, which is a Morgan win that's so predictable.
Yeah, and it's I don't know. I think that as far as this season, I was not a fan of this season. I thought this season was pretty bad overall. The cast was pretty terrible. Outside of a few stars like Keanu, Rachel,
Jimmy. I think Jimmy going early hurt.
Yeah, but I would also even say Vince was at least a good character in the fact that you love to hate him, right?
Sure. Yes.
We need someone on the season that makes it so that it's someone you love to hate. Otherwise, there's nothing to root against. Not crazy about Vince, but has done more than Ashley. I agree. I absolutely agree with you guys. Vince has done more than Ashley. Vince deserves the win more than Ashley. I just don't think this jury is going to be pleased enough with Vince's game and how he did them all dirty. And he's done pretty much half of this jury. He has done dirty, right? Lauren, he's done dirty, even though I still think she'll vote for him, which is crazy. But Ava has bad taste in her mouth because of him. Keanu obviously has bad taste. Kelly, we're talking about not just 1 or 2 votes, multiple votes that are going to go against him because he backstabbed them.
Not just once, backstabbed a ton of times. Yeah.
And then tried to ask for forgiveness and acted like, oh, listen, I'm still with you, all this stuff. And then just lied to their faces. Keanu has been portrayed as a hero who the others are wrong. Excuse me. Yeah, well, he has, absolutely. But he has had his back against the wall all season. It's not fake news there. He has had his back against the wall. And the fact that he got as far as he did was a miracle. So Keanu is getting AFP. Rachel voted for Lane, who she likes more. Well, okay. That's a fair point. I guess I didn't remember where her votes lie back then. But honestly, the Lane versus Hayden of it all really could have been more of a toss-up. Obviously, Hayden won, and I do think Hayden played the better game. But that was a foursome that worked together throughout the entire game. So realistically, there isn't a bad choice there, right? It wasn't a social thing. It was maybe who do I like more of these guys that all played together really well, more than I'm voting for you because you're my friend, even though this other person deserves it, type of thing. You know?
Right. Lane didn't play a horrible game. As you
No.
said, if you're going all the way back to 12, the core group ran literally that entire season and they stuck together and didn't have to go against each other until it came up to the very end.
Yeah. So it's just different. It's just a different scenario. Juan says Keanu for AFP for me. He was the house target for a lot of the game. Lasted longer than expected, although his delusional gameplay was confusing. It was entertaining. That's the thing is imagine the season without Keanu, right? Without Keanu, without Rachel, and let's say even without Vince, right? Like if we didn't have those three down the stretch, this would have been an even more boring season, right? Vince was the rootable or not rootable, the villain you like to root against. Keanu was the guy that was constantly the back against the wall, maybe just a little bit of a lovable doof, but he constantly got himself off the block. And then Rachel is just the fan favorite who played hard and, you know, was the one returnee starting from the season that always had a target on her back and went out by a stupid twist, right? So, like, if you don't have those three people as far as we got into this game, imagine what the season could have been. Imagine if we had a Riley, Catherine, and let's say, I don't know, Adrian in lasting further than those three. What kind of season would this be?
I don't want to imagine that. What would you do? What filler would they put in? What are they going to say in their confessionals? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The DR, like it would be mind-boggling. I can't believe you were even rally off like Adrian's name there.
I looked at the board and I was like, well, let's throw Adrian in there. All right, what's up? Don't bite your tongue. What's going on, Tommy? This show has become All Stars 2 so predictable and boring. I agree. It was very predictable and boring, and the fact that no one else could win a competition was really what hindered this game as well. Amy said she kept herself off the block and got people to take out the biggest threat. She used her social game. She won when she needed to. Who is she referencing there? Ashley?
Yeah, if we're referencing Ashley here, then winning when you need to is winning that part 3 HOH.
Yeah. Yeah, now it all comes down to this. Like, it really comes down to you have to win the final 3 HOH or this is all for nothing, right? Like, the most compelling outcome is Vince versus Ashley, with Ashley taking out Morgan. Even though I've said it multiple times on stream, I was hoping Vince would win final 3, take out Morgan, piss off Morgan, and she wants nothing to do with him. He loses to Ashley in the finals and then finds out he has no girlfriend. Would have been the best case scenario.
Save the season, right?
Save the season, exactly. Don't bite your tongue says Vince is worse than Riley. Yeah, listen, it's 1A, 1B, in my opinion. 1A, 1B. They're both very, very bad. Fresh show. I'm voting for Ashley because she didn't play Hug Island for 3 months with Vince. It's very true. And that's another way you can look at it. Juan says least favorite for me is Jimmy just because of the insane clout chasing he done after his eviction. It is pretty wild seeing on social media how much clout chasing he's trying to do. Like I watched some of the videos of him on Twitter and stuff, and I'm like, this bro, he's just trying to get his 15 minutes of fame to last even longer.
He really is. But I mean, he's still there and people are still following.
It's wild. Pam says, I think Kelly should get least favorite player because of the bugs. Hey, if you're going to talk about bugs, then you can put Ava in the same category, because Ava with the bugs in her cup and the mold in the other cup, we talked about it yesterday on stream. That was the worst for me. We also talked about the armpit hair, but they, to each their own. But the bugs in the cup, how do you not move a cup for 50 days and clean it out? I would just throw that cup away. At that point, I don't even think washing it is going to do the trick.
I'm just stunned people let the bug scenario even happen, because if I was there, absolutely not.
Ballard approved. Let's talk about Ava's armpit hair. We went over that all stream last stream. Listen, I'm not about to tell someone what to do with their body. It's their body, their choice. They do whatever they want. Is it my preference? No, but hey, you know what? You do what you do. You go, girl. It was not my preference. My favorite is Rachel and Keanu. Yeah, I mean, that's why it's easily the two AFPs. Amy says the producers definitely made Rachel and Ashley look like mean girls, especially when it came to Keanu, because they showed him in a different light. Okay, the one thing I will say, they definitely did make them kind of look like mean girls. And I didn't agree with Rachel in that moment. I thought that it wasn't like her battle to fight. And that's the one thing. That's why people really like Rachel in the house, is when you're on Rachel's side, she will, go in blindly fighting people for your honor, right? Like we've seen it time and time again this season, where she will have your back no matter what, even when it's probably a detriment to her game. um, I think that that's what makes Rachel Rachel, though, too.
Yeah, and Rachel has always been that type of player. She's going to have the confrontation with other people, and as you said, that is just her. She's not faking anything. That's legitimately how she is always playing the Big Brother game.
Yeah. Pam says, as much as I don't like Vince, I hope Ashley wins the third one and takes out Morgan. Big move. I agree. I think that's her only chance. Jonathan Gould, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. Hayden betrayed Rachel a few times too many. Yeah, and that's true too. Absolutely, that's true. But I also think that, she might just have had a better social relationship with oh my gosh, who am I thinking?
Lane.
Lane, thank you. And Lane, and the thing is too, like I said, it's apples and oranges compared to this season, where back then they had 4 people running that season. So you could have gone either way and it wouldn't have been the wrong choice. All right, so let's see here. Daniel Mullen, welcome in. Thank you for joining the chat. Did Vince get dumped by his girlfriend? As far as we know on social media, he has, but who knows what's real, right? Like, well, is Vince going to come out of the house and be like, listen, I never did this to betray you. I love you. Like, you don't deserve me. I'm just such a bad person, but will you take me back? Like, I could see him being that whiny self again, trying to get her back.
If he does that, wow, would that be a slap in the face to her? Because she's seen the footage. It's right there. Nothing's hiding about it. I feel so bad for her. I really, truly do, because imagine just seeing it time and time again and being reminded this is what's happening on TV currently. And it's not once a week, it's 3 times a week. And on top of that, 24-hour live feeds.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. The Brigade ran this season, and Rachel and Brendan were their only opposition. Yeah, absolutely. So that's another factor. Is Rachel had teenager angst. It's not wrong. Like, she does have teenager angst. She definitely has maybe, like I said, sometimes she fights battles she shouldn't. Like, but that's what makes Rachel Rachel. Like, she's always going to be vocal, and she also knows what it takes to make good TV, right? Like, she knows this is also a reality show. We need to make this interesting. So the best part of the season, one of the best parts of the season, was she's fighting with Catherine on the couch. She's like, sit down, Catherine. And she's like, I am sad. Like, that was one of my favorite parts.
So good.
She lost. I will say this. Rachel lost a lot of those battles along the way.
Well, if you go back to season 12, she lost those battles too, for sure.
She's never been good at finishing, but she'll start. Starla put all votes on Rachel. I'm referencing Ashley. Okay, yeah. That's what we kind of figured. Mary says Lane also did a showergate moment. Oh man, I don't remember that. It's been so long since I watched 12. So to be honest with you, I'll take your word for it. Can Vince win against Ashley if she takes him? So that's the biggest argument, right? And we've been talking about it all stream. I think if Ashley knocks out Morgan and takes Vince to the end, I think there's a very good chance Ashley could win. And we've said it many times, so I'm not going to, beat a dead horse. But like, if Ashley is there, she made the biggest move this season, taking out Morgan right at the end, who's the clear-cut favorite to win. And then Vince is pissed off so many people. I think absolutely she can. I'll be right back.
She just has to be flawless, though. She really has to be able to say, I'm owning this move. This is what I did. I wrapped this season up by taking out the biggest, baddest person that had played the best game. And hopefully the jury buys into that. But if they don't buy into it, I could still see Vince. Vince is definitely going to get jury votes against Ashley. I think it's going to be a very close vote if it does come down between the two of them. But it's all in the delivery. Some people are very good at sitting in front of a jury and explaining why they deserve to get those votes, and other people go in and they have a better story and they played a better game, but they drop the ball at the very end and are not able to come back from that. And so you really have to wait and see, once those two are sitting there, if it is them, who's better at delivering that speech. I think the speech is going to be everything when it comes down to those two, if that is the way the part 3 HOH goes and the selection of both of them ending up in the final two.
I like his Vince cameos. I don't know if that's talking about my Vince impression, but it's not nearly what Taryn's is. So I can't take any credit for what Taryn can do compared to mine. One, to be honest, we can all hate Vince, but I'm kind of worried about his mental health after dude is taking a beating. Oh, he should just stay away from social media. His family should just take away his phone. Maybe even put him back in the basement for like 6 months until he can come out a new man, because it's going to be brutal for him. It's going to be absolutely brutal.
Avoid for months. Take a break. Go and do something else. Because if you open up your phone or computer or any type of social media, he will immediately be shut down.
I just read this comment. There's a new video of Ava picking toe lint and eating it. Jesus Christ, I can't. That's too much. It was thick. I'm guessing the cameo. Same. What's up, Sandy? How you doing? Welcome back in. Good to see you, hon. Sam at one. Same at one. I've been hard on Vince, but last night's feeds made it so clear that he's not well. I hope he gets the help he needs. I agree. I have no ill will towards the person. Do I think as a character I can, talk about him as a character, and that I think that obviously he's done wrong things in the house? Absolutely. But I wish no ill will upon the person outside of the game.
Absolutely. And we have to think about this here, folks. They are cut off from the outside world for months and months. So the only people they have to talk to are the fellow house guests, and it's an emotional drain on them. It has to be. You are not having any contact with loved ones, rarely, unless you win HOH, but the amount of toll it has to take on them and the recovery for some of them that make it all the way to the end very, very far, it's got to be a ton.
Yeah. Tasha Stocks, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining the chat. Says Ashley has been influencing moves. Ashley is the reason why Morgan pushed Vince about putting Lauren on the block. Absolutely. She's the reason why they're spiraling now. She's created the judges for safety. I agree. I think there's a lot of things that Ashley can use to her advantage when it comes to her final speech. And I think that's one that she should definitely put up there, because that went against essentially what Vince's game plan has been all season. And it really worked out in her benefit. Now, I still think Morgan will get more of the credit there, but if Morgan's not there, Ashley absolutely can use that to her advantage. Starla says, Juan, I absolutely agree. God has put him on my spirit to pray for him in the event he doesn't go well for him. I agree. I mean, nothing but love to the actual person, like Vince as a person. I hope he comes out of this okay. I hope he understands, like, yes, he did some things that were not good, and he should definitely, obviously, not pay for those things, because it's not like something he should pay for, but he should take it in stride and realize, okay, I did do wrong here, and this is how I can be better in the future, type of thing.
And hopefully going back to a good family that's able to just be there and get Vince through the steps.
Yeah, absolutely. Mary says, love when Rachel dragged Keanu, felt so cathartic. I mean, there's so many different spectrums to like viewership when it comes to that situation. Like, you could have been so team Keanu, where you're like, listen, these girls are being mean girls. Like, why are they saying this Keanu? He didn't do anything that bad. Or you could be so team Rachel, where you're like, drag him, queen. Like it goes both ways. I really don't think in that scenario, which obviously it was big on TV, but it wasn't like an actual big moment as far as like their relationship after that, in my opinion. I think that it was one good TV. Rachel knew that, but also I think that those two, they just been bickering back and forth, and then they come running back to each other. It wasn't like you could be fine either way. Tasha's Talk says Ashley started working with people who wanted her out, like Keanu and Vince. And that's the thing, is she kept those relationships even though Ashley was gone, Rachel was gone, even though Will was gone. She was able to still mold that relationship and keep it as strong as it was, which, think about this, Vince put her up week one. Week one, Vince targeted Ashley, and Ashley could have been that that Kelly figure or that Keanu figure where you're just constantly on the block every single week because it's the safe move for people. But after that first week, she was really able to socialize and put herself in a position to stay around. And look, now she's in the final 3 against the guy who she might beat that put her up week 1. It's full circle moment.
There's tons of arguments that we're getting. As we're speaking through this more, I'm saying, you know what? The shot, it's right there. It really, I think it's just going to come down to how they have their speeches. And Ashley's speech that she's prepping for sounds like a pretty good one to me.
Absolutely. Jonathan says they were so against Rachel and Brendan in 12. Yeah, everyone was. The whole house was against Rachel and Brendan. The whole show. They didn't do themselves any favors, though, either. I will say that. Ashley,
they did not.
No. Ashley hid behind big targets. Don't say she hasn't done anything. No, I agree. I'm not saying she hasn't done anything. Has she done less than those other people that are remaining in Vince and Morgan? I definitely think she's done less because she hasn't had power. But as far as like social wise, she's absolutely been at the top of the game when it comes to social relationships, even though it was more behind the scenes and not in front of us on our actual television show. If you were watching the feeds, you knew that she was, in people's ears and kept that social relevance alive. All right. Jonathan says Vince is going to end the season with $0 and 0 girlfriends. Is good chance that happens, unfortunately, for Vince. Would Morgan vote for Vince to spite Ashley? The only way, no, I think 100% Morgan votes for Vince. I don't doubt that. I think Lauren and Morgan are the only 2 votes for Ashley. For Vince. I think Morgan and Lauren are the only 2 votes for Vince, and I think Ashley could clean sweep the rest of the votes. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's no way Lauren is 110% voting for Vince if Vince is sitting there. I don't see her changing her mind. I think Morgan, in a moment, thinking, I just lost this game, I think she could go either way, if I'm being truthfully honest with you, because she might respect the move. Ashley took me out, and I know I was a big-time player this season, so I respect that final move, but then also taking into consideration she has been on this journey with Vince and knows Vince is having a rough go, and he would be so torn apart knowing that Morgan did not vote for him to win this game. And I think she could take that into account when making the vote.
I don't see any world where Morgan doesn't vote for Vince, because the only way was if Vince took out Morgan in the final 2 HOH competition, but we know that can't happen now. So that was the only scenario where that would ever possibly play a factor. Ballard approves said, I agree. Ashley has a solid chance against Vince. Morgan beats either of them. And he said WH. So, I agree. So like Ashley has a solid chance against Vince, but Morgan wins either way. I think that's the most likely outcome. And I think it could be close. It could be, who knows? Like, we don't fully know what the jury is thinking. Will they still reward Vince? Like, is Keanu going to be like, listen, once again, Vince is in his head being like, hey, listen, Vince screwed me. He came after me, but that was my boy, and I got to give it to him over Ashley because it's Ashley. Like, we know he has some tendencies that we may not agree with, that maybe he falls more in line with what males in the house have to say. So maybe he will reward the male. I just feel like people in the jury will be talking, and I think it will be a very big consensus that screw Vince. He screwed all of us. He played a dirty game. We're giving it to anyone but Vince. And I think it's a real possibility outside of Lauren.
I don't think it's going to be a clean sweep, no matter who's sitting in there. And I think everyone's going to get a vote here or there for sure, whoever the loser is. But I'm just ready for it to happen. I'm ready to put a bow on this because, my goodness, it's
been a grind.
It has been a grind.
Amy says, from what I heard of Morgan's final speech today, Ashley has her beat. She doesn't seem to have finished it yet, though. I'm very interested. I haven't seen that clip yet, so I'll have to go check that out. Did you guys see Joseph Rodriguez's video from yesterday? I thought he was so great that he opened up like that. I did not see that. Did you see that, Lauren?
I did not, no.
No, I apologize, Amy. I literally, when I got off the stream yesterday, I went and worked all night and then came home, watched like one YouTube video and crashed the hell out. So I literally, anything that's happened in the last 24 hours, I got my information on who won the second part HOH, and now I'm here live with you guys. So I'm sorry, I'll have to go check that out. Then we'll talk about it on Monday when I go live. Vince doesn't have a job to avoid social media. That's true.
Jeez.
It's true. Maybe he should get a job. Maybe best case scenario would be to get a job. I'm pretty sure they can talk to a therapist while they're in the house. Oh yeah, they definitely have a house therapist for sure. And I think if it was a major issue, that it would be absolutely something that they would look into. Which I do think it is an issue, but I think it'll be more of an issue once he gets out of the house. Wishing someone to found a job is just blessing, not a curse. I mean, it's Vince though. Like, is Vince really gonna look hard? I mean, he's 34 years old, living in his parents' basement. I'm like, I'm 36, man, and I've been living on my own. Well, with myself or with my my wife, for since I was 18. Like Ballard in the chat, I lived with him in college. Like, he's one of my best friends growing up. So like, I couldn't imagine being 34 years old and still living at home. That's wild to me. Like, I've had a 5-year-old. I've had a kid since I was 30 years old, or 31 years old. So it's just wild to me. But hey, you know what? It is what it is.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Could they have not put in just something, anything? Because if I'm going on this show, put something down for me. I do not want unemployed listed right underneath my name every single time.
Dungeon Master is better than unemployed.
Exactly. Make something up or give them something to go with. The problem I have is I think he's okay with that label of unemployment being under his name. I don't think it bothers him that much.
No, it doesn't. He's definitely the type that is not something that concerns him one way or the other. All right, guys, we got 50 people here in the live stream. One of our biggest streams we've done to date. If you guys can, please hit that like button. It takes you one click and it helps us a lot here on the channel. Hit the bell notification so you're notified whenever I go live. I go live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday here, 12 noon Pacific to 2 p.m. Pacific. I'm doing a special Saturday show because it is the eve of the finale tonight. So if you guys can, twitch.tv/Bobby Goodsby. That's my own personal account. Give me a follow there. Helps me out a lot. And help us out here at Reality After Show. Leave a comment. Leave a sub, what have you. It all helps us with the algorithm, and we appreciate you guys being here. Also, if you're new here, get your comments in the chat right now. We'll be reading your chats live here on screen, as you guys can see. And let's get going on with some more of these questions because I got a lot to catch up on. A lot of people, very vocal chat today. I love it. I love it. Just got to keep up. Odds of Vince and Morgan solidifying a relationship. I think that it's absolutely possible. But then there's a lot of people out there that think once it's done and if Morgan wins the money, she's going to be like, peace out, Vince. Thanks.
It's a tough one. It really is. I think Morgan is going to go home and just evaluate and process the entire situation. So I see it going one way or another. I also could see her just going home and saying, I don't think that's it for me, just because of everything that comes with it. Yeah, you know what I mean? There's a lot of baggage that will come with it.
Oh my gosh, we are way behind in these comments. Let me bust out a couple of these. Ashley talks about Showergate in her speech, but I wish she would mention that Vinny was lying about how long her shower was because they were actually talking game. Yeah, I think that might come up in her final speech, but it was so long ago. I don't know if it'll be necessarily relevant to the jury as a whole. What premiere did you enjoy more, Survivor or Tar? I think I was more pleasantly surprised with Survivor. Like this is the one season I feel like I've come into with like the lowest expectations, and that's more on production for having such a spectacle and 50 around the corner that everyone's like yada yada, let's just get past 49 so we can get to 50. And also the fact that 2 people from the season are going to be on season 50. But I was like, you know what, once the season started, I was like, okay, I'm excited for Survivor to be back. We had a really bad Survivor 48, really bad Big Brother 27. I'm ready for something fresh, and maybe because I do have low expectations, this season will be amazing. And Jeff has said this is more of a prequel to 50 than Survivor 49 as itself. So like, I'm very interested to see that dynamic.
The only issue I always have is There was one tribe they barely gave us anything from, and I wanted to see more of these people. You mean to tell me we have a 2-hour premiere? We're not having any idol hunts, so it should be mostly the 2 challenge fillers and then all of camp life. You have plenty of time to show all 3 camp lives. Only one tribe is going to tribal council. The fact that just 2 of them are highlighted, it's a bummer because the initial first episode is really where we start to learn about some of these characters, some of these players that we have on the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, Brent Walgamont just texted me, so I was seeing what he was saying to me. Still hoping we can get Brent on at some point. It just hasn't worked out schedule-wise. All right, so Starla, serious question here. What if someone that was at the end and could have won but didn't decides to exit life? Any consequences for the show or BB? Oh, I see what you're saying there. I mean, that's a loaded question. That's something I don't know if I have the pay grade for it. I think there's a lot of waivers that are signed, a lot of legal things in the background that obviously we aren't privy to. I hate to even discuss that scenario as a possibility because that's something no one wants. At first, when I thought you said that, I thought you meant like exit the jury. But once I read it, I was like, oh, that's what you mean. I don't think that's something that necessarily we should have a say or like an opinion on. But I absolutely think that there's a lot of legal jargon there that's probably set up in that scenario. Sandy says, but Vince defended Ashley about Showergate for a good long while until he felt he couldn't go against what the whole house was thinking. Yeah, because once there's one person that has a target on their back, they're instantly going to be outcasted, right? Like you give anyone in that first week, even just an inch of something to use against you, they run with it. And then you're constantly the pawn in the house. But Ashley did enough to defend herself and build social relationships where it got people back on board with Ashley. And that's why she's here in the final 3. I mean, Keanu did the complete opposite, right? He was fine. And then by the end of week 1, they wanted to make him the target. And then week after week, he was the target going forward. And he constantly put his foot in his mouth. So there's just 2 big contrasts there between Ashley and Keanu that show how you're supposed to play that scenario out. Tasha says, I love Rachel. We all do. Humane says, Tasha Talks, give her 1 million votes. Humane is just really wanting this vote to go this way. I worry for Humane if it doesn't pan out.
It's all about the votes. So it's just constantly vote.
Vote. Kelly will just do the opposite of whatever Rachel does. That's possibly true, but I still don't think even if Rachel votes for Ashley over Vince, I still think Kelly will vote for Ashley over Vince because she hates Vince more than she despises Rachel.
And how would Kelly even know what Rachel's going to do? I can't even imagine those 2 having a conversation. How you feeling about the vote? Which way are you leaning? That's not happening between those 2.
Sandy says spot on about the votes. What's more? What move was worse? Mickey taking Jimmy out, excuse me. Ava picking Vince, or Lauren trusting the unemployed. I think the worst move was probably. See, the Ava thing, it was like she didn't know how it was going to play out, right? I think more so the Mickey taking Jimmy out is the worst move because you literally took someone out of the game that was wanting to work with you. And Ava picking Vince, yeah, it was not the best move for her, but like she didn't know if Vince would go out there. She didn't know how the competition was going to play out. So I would say Mickey taking out Jimmy.
Definitely agree. Honestly, Jimmy was completely on your side there, was not going to take you out whatsoever. So it was just a bad move. It was a tough call on Mickey's end. And I think honestly led to some of Mickey's demise because Jimmy would have been another number in the house, another number for Mickey's side and the people that Mickey was choosing to play the game with. So that's the way I'm going with that one. I definitely think the Mickey taking out Jimmy is the rougher one of the 2.
I think so too. All right. So next we have Penelope again. All right. And she's got Oreo all over her face.
That's the way to do it. Always right? The Oreos.
Say hi, chat. All right. I don't remember Vince lying. I think he just never corrected what the house guests thought. I would say he definitely lied. He lied in telling people, hey, I'm going to definitely work with you. Or like, listen, guys, I'm sorry I had to do this, but we can work together in the future with no actual expectations of actually working with those people like a Kelly, like Keanu. It was always just a preserve the relationship because I know you're not leaving. Thank you, baby. All right. So I love you too. Keanu is absolutely still going to vote for Vince if he's there. I laugh my ass off. Under deserving but hilarious. It's definitely a possibility. Thank you, Penelope, for all the kisses. I love you too. Sandy says, "Oh boy, Mary, that's tough. Ava picking Vince is the one I harp on most, but not sure it's worse than the others." Exactly. I think it's hard to pick, but I think Mickey picking Jimmy is very much so worse. P, go answer the phone. It's your friends. It's the girls. My buddy who's in the chat can see that Penelope is over here, so he's like, I'll have my daughters talk to her.
Perfect. Right? I'm ready for this question though. This is going to be a good one.
Go ahead. You answer it. Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
Taking the question away from me. Would both of you want Big Brother to go back to the basics next season? This, in my opinion, has shown that crazy twist in returning players has been done to death. So here's one thing I do not want the BB Blockbuster. I was okay with the BB Blockbuster to an extent, but I do not need the BB Blockbuster lasting until after the jury phase. I was not a fan of that. I want it to go away because we missed the backdoor opportunities. And this, if you're talking back to the basis, the back doors, so good. I mean, you have those iconic moments and then the shock level of people's faces when they get backdoored. We're missing all of that right now. So yes, I would be totally fine with it going back into that direction.
See, and I'm actually very opposite. We're like, well, not very opposite, but I agree in some aspects, but I love the Blockbuster. The problem is, and I've said this multiple times on stream, so for those of you that are just now joining us and have never seen this stream before, my opinion on the Blockbuster is I think it adds an element of now the rest of the week isn't boring, where it's not like we know the outcome by Sunday and we're like, okay, now we're just dragging from Sunday to Thursday to see that person go out. Yes, there are situations where the vote can change, but for the most part, it pretty much stays the same after, the veto competition and the veto is used or not used. Now, I do like that we get a competition on Thursday night, on the eviction night, where someone can save themselves and the back door is not a possibility. The problem is, one, it should end before jury, 1,000%. Two, they haven't given we lose out on the live HOH competition during the live show because of the Blockbuster. But I think the compromise to that scenario would be give us every HOH competition on the live feeds. If they gave us every HOH competition on the live feeds, one, it brings a lot more viewers in to pay for their Paramount Plus subscription, because now they know that they can pay and they'll get to at least watch a HOH competition every week. So that's going to add a lot of money and revenue to Paramount/CBS. Second, then it gives the fans something to watch on the live feeds. It's like, we're the diehard fans. We're the ones who want to pay for this and watch this. Let us watch this on our screen. On the live feeds, we're happy to pay for it. Just give us that content. Then you have something for the live feeders on Thursday nights. You have Sunday, nominations, and you can watch the HOH competition play out if you didn't watch it on the live feeds. Then Wednesday, you have the veto, and Thursday, you have the vote out and Blockbuster. There's literally something for everyone there, and I think that's the best happy compromise.
Will we ever get that happy compromise? No, that is the thing. We will not. It will not give us
good things.
I'm glad you agreed with me, though, on it ends at jury. I actually would be okay with it if it ends there, because once you bring it past that, that's too many people that you're putting up for eviction, way too many. And then you factor in the veto. That's another added person. It's too much.
It is too much. I completely agree. All right. We're going to definitely have to bust out some of these. Tasha, Vince definitely lied a lot in this game. No doubt about that. He definitely lied a lot. Tasha says, I don't like Vince's game, but he played the game and got himself to Final 3. I wouldn't be mad if he wins, but I'm rooting for Morgan and Ashley. I mean, the thing is, if Vince wins, he's definitely not like the least deserving winner of all time, but he's just played a game where he's constantly pissed people off. I just don't see how he can win the game. Next, I'm of two minds about that one. This season had the potential to be really awful without the twist in Rachel, Riley, and Kat at the end. No thanks. I agree with you. I think absolutely there's twists that work to the benefit. There's just a lot of twists that we don't like the Rachel twist that took her out. I think that was an awful twist. Jordan says, and Ashley Wynn would finish the season off perfectly, easily top 5 for me. Wow, that's a hot take, Jordan. That is a hot take.
Wow.
I that's probably one of the hotter takes I've seen. So good on you for having a different opinion. Joseph's video was about mental health while you're in the house and after you get out. Yesterday, I said I don't think I have thick enough skin now. I definitely don't. No, I don't. I mean, it definitely takes thick skin. You have to be able to understand that this is a show constantly running on the live feeds. The fact that we had people this season that didn't even know the live feeds were live, like Kelly, blows my mind. Absolutely, that's something that needs to be clarified to these people. And maybe it is, maybe they just, in one ear and out the other. But I absolutely agree that it should be something that is brought up more. And you have to kind of realize that going to the house, they really need to make sure they have emotionally stable people in the house too.
Do you think when they do that, they're just not realizing in their mind that it's actually 24/7 and they just get so comfortable with the camera?
It's because they're recruits. They've never seen the show in their life.
Yeah, but if someone tells me that it's going to be recorded 24/7, I'm going to believe that, wouldn't you?
Well, even if these recruits are only seeing seasons, like the production's giving them seasons to watch, the seasons don't clarify. To them, they see, yes, it is a live thing and it's 24/7, but they, use parts. They don't actually see the live feeds. Like they're not given a video of, hey, this is an hour of just live feeds. This is what people are going to be watching. And it's just them brushing their teeth or what have you. They're getting episodes, not live feeds. So there's a big difference there. So people aren't understanding when they're not familiar with the show. They go back and watch seasons. They don't go back and watch feeds.
That's their fault for not doing the research then, because my golly, that's one thing you should do before coming on a show such as this, because it's out there everywhere and people get those clips and they get sent out. It's mind-boggling to me that you wouldn't know that.
Guys, go hit up Brent on social media if you want him in here, because I'm trying my best to get him to join us at some point. I mean, we only got one day left, but maybe he'll come on next week. I love the guy. I'd be very happy to have him on here. Oh, he's a lot. Yeah, Amy Bonner. I just don't. That was one of them. Yeah. Lori, what's going on, Lori? Welcome in. Enjoyed this. Hart, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hope you like it. Hope you'll come back again in the future. And thank you for joining us. Sandy says Vince was leaning into that unemployment thing preseason, though. I always think of his video intro, very 13-year-old-ish, almost Stranger Things coming of age vibes in the friends biking, right, etc. That's a very, very good comp. I will give you that. That is absolutely a great comp of how I would imagine Vince, because he really leans into that, right? He leans into that persona.
I just could never.
Yeah, exactly. She says, I think it was the persona he was going for. Absolutely. But he was also trying to get cast, right? And I think that's a big casting archetype that the show would love to run with. Like this 34-year-old guy that looks like this, that's living in his parents' basement. Yes, sign him up, type of thing. Amy says, well, if she's going to mention Showergate, then I think she needs to tell the whole story. That's all I'm saying. I agree. Mary says, Brent, get your skinny ass in here. I love it. I love it so much. I need Rachel to win AFP. Her leaving gave me Saints PTSD. It's true. I think a lot of us, I mean, that was my biggest live stream ever, is the stream immediately after that. I had like 100 people in here. We thought the comments were hard to catch up on today. You should imagine back then when I was doing it by myself. I absolutely agree. I think Rachel for AFP, I'd be very happy with, and we'll see her again, guys. Maybe not on Big Brother, but we'll see her again in the future. I meant about Showergate. I gotcha. Run and shoot. Welcome in. Thank you for joining the chat. Allie's played a game very similar to Dr. Will. I think you meant Ashley. I think you meant Ashley there. Ashley played a game very similar to Dr. Will, saying it's a bottom 3 winner season is nuts. She's not top 5, but not far off. I mean, realistically, who would you have lower than her, or higher than her? Because she's got to be bottom 3 of all time. She didn't win anything. Yes, she played somewhat of a similar social strategy game, but she's not Dr. Will. I mean, I don't know, man. It's tough. I would still think that she's a bottom 3 winner if she wins, even if she takes out Morgan.
Oh yeah, no question about it, because who else would be? I can't even think of anybody that would be like a better, like worse winner. You know what I mean? Like in
Yeah.
that category, right?
Yeah. Like if we went through every single winner of the show outside of Big Brother 1, which was a totally different show, I mean, how could you not say she's bottom 3?
And then not even like if we're disregarding what some of these people as winners have done after winning the show, if we're just basing it on what they did in the show, definitely bottom 3. But if we're basing it on what some of them have done beyond the show, maybe not bottom 3, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I'm of my opinion, but you can each have your own opinion for sure. Jonathan says, have a good day, y'all. Enjoyed the finale. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for joining in. Ashley, yeah, it took me a second, but now I see what you're saying. And the crash outs from being backdoored. Exactly. Exactly. Tasha, yes, the blockbuster doesn't need the whole season. No, absolutely. It should end before jury. Sandy, but new Big Brother players don't take advantage of the strategy. They don't blindside. They move as a hive. I don't know if it makes great TV. I agree. I've said this a million times. I'm more of a fan of people that know the show or at least have watched multiple seasons. I think it should be a requirement to watch Big Brother 10, Big Brother 14, Big Brother 7. Like there should be requirements on you have to watch throughout these seasons to be able to be on the show. I really do. Like you don't have to be a super fan like us, but you don't I don't think recruits are good for this game. They play too coy and they're just there for their screen time and their social media fame after the show. I want people that are there to win the $750,000 prize.
Right. And you want people there that know the strategy of the game and know how to do the ins and outs, because we have seen previously before where you have people on the live feeds not knowing what a backdoor is. If you don't know what a backdoor is, then how are you able to incorporate your own individual strategy into the game if you don't know what a singular move, big time move is that impacts the season time and time again? You know what I mean, Bobby?
Absolutely. No, I agree. Let's get a little further down on these comments. Maybe have the blockbuster 3 or 4 weeks. I'm okay with it being till jury. But it's definitely up for debate. Okay, thank you, Penelope. I appreciate it. She's like, Daddy, it's time to hang up. I'm like, all right, let me get through this. Ballot approved. I liked the blockbuster too. Alliances have been more unstable since they've added them. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good dynamic for the game. I'd like that there's a shakeup and that you don't know who's going to go home on Thursday until the Thursday has played out. Agree. BBB should end jury the latest, though. Yes, absolutely. I think by jury, then I'm totally content with that. Both Morgan and Ashley will take each other. That's what I've been seeing. I know Morgan is very on the fence about taking Vince. She thinks that her game doesn't match up well against Vince. I actually think she has a better chance against Vince than she does Ashley, even though I think Morgan smashes whoever she's against. I really do. I think that there's more of a threat with Ashley than there is with Vince.
And Vince keeps asking Morgan, and she has said, I am undecided. So she has at least told him that.
Yeah, and which means, no, I'm not taking you in Big Brother talk, in my opinion. Jury should go back to 9. Final 12 should end blockbuster. I mean, I'm not opposed to that by any means. I'm not opposed to that. I watch live feeds free on Pluto TV. Well, there you go. See, like, watch it live for free on Pluto TV. I'm just saying that they will get more membership on Paramount Plus because people will be able to watch it on their computers. What have you? Excuse me. If they did the HOH competition live on screen. Hard to agree on 9-person jury. I agree as well. I think 9-person jury is where it's at. Mary says, would Brent watch and recap La Mas Draga season 7? It's totally his type of show. The drama is drumming. That's something for Brent. I don't know if I could. I couldn't even pronounce what you just said. So that's why, Mary. 5 weeks of blockbuster end, and we go to the double. Why is that so hard to understand? The producers are as stubborn as Jeff Probst. I agree. I think that would be a prime solution to it. 5 weeks of blockbuster, then a double. I'm totally on board with that. As Ashley wins, an Ashley win would be like putting air freshener in a sewer. It's not actually a bad comparison. Go ahead. I'll let you read some of these comments off. I got to answer this real quick.
Bobby making me in charge, and I have to scroll up. I have to scroll up to some of these comments because we're trying to catch up here, right? All right. Here we go. I can't remember who it was, but a former player said they definitely tell them about the live feeds before they go into the house. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about here. If I am auditioning or signing up or being recruited for a show, I am going to do some type of research to know what I'm getting myself into. I'm not going in blind. Yes, they do make them watch certain seasons, but I'm going to know what's going to happen once I get into that house. And then you get confirmation from other people that, yes, they are actually filming 24/7. Then you should know maybe I should or should not say certain things because it's filming 24/7. And that's where you find people getting themselves in trouble because they forget that the live feeds are happening.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but a former player said they definitely tell them about the live feeds before they go. They definitely do. It's whether they take it into perspective of what it actually is. I think a lot of them are underestimating that it's live all the time. It was Haley who made that video. She said they hammered the live feed situation home. Yeah, like I'm sure they do, but like it's Kelly. Do we think Kelly really paid attention to what they were talking about? Like
No.
I could see her easily like staring at the wall, being like, "Oh, what's that color?" You know, and more than actually listening to what the producers are saying. Zach Rand's had a stalker for over 10 years, so you need to be aware of the possibilities. Absolutely agree. That whole stalker story I read about that recently, that's crazy. Recruits or not, you can tell people they're being viewed 24/7. You're going to eventually slip up if you're a douche person. Yeah, I mean, it's true. Recruit or not, there's always people that screw up. Josh, Jag, Adam, yeah, all of those. The Ashley Dr. Will comparison is hyperbole. Dr. Will had a thought out strategy. Ashley fumbled more than what we are saying now. She did learn the game on the fly and make some good moves, though. Yeah, that's prime way of putting it, because like it's apples and oranges in my opinion. Like she had to constantly like build social relationships to get to where she was, but Dr. Will literally told you to vote him out. Ashley would never, right? Ashley would never have that boldness in her to be like, vote me out. And he purposely didn't win any competitions because he knew he didn't want that to be a physical threat. He wanted to rely on people thinking we could get him out later on down the line. Ashley just couldn't win competitions. So there's very much so a big difference in those scenarios. Juan says Josh won comps and was a top target. True, but like it's Josh. I had very little respect for people comp out and win like Casey or Ian. So I would respect Ashley's game more. And that's fair, to each their own. I think I respect Ian's game more than Ashley's 1,000%. I think Ian is a very deserving winner. And if you
I agree.
that, I think that Ian played a great game.
And look where Ian started in that season. Everyone's thinking, oh my gosh, who is this kid? And then the kid goes on to win the entire thing. So if we're talking about adapting here, he figured it out and he knew what was going to tailor to different people. All right, I'll be on slop. No one else wants to do it. Reason to keep me in the house longer.
Yeah. Tasha says, where do you rate Jag as a winner? I would say middle bottom. Like I would say like the latter third. Yeah, he comp beast his way out, but like I would say, you know, honestly, the more and more I think about it, he's got to be one of the worst because yes, he did comp beast his way out, but the guy was voted out, right? Correct. He was voted out of the game. So realistically, he got a second chance. Is that as good as a full-on win? I would say he's actually towards the bottom the more that I think about it. So yeah, he's probably lower in my opinion than even Ashley. I rate Jags win and an asterisk. Yeah, I agree with you. Ashley would probably be mid-tier winner. I would say at best, we're 27 seasons in. I say she's bottom 7 at minimum. And that's literally giving her credit where I don't see it as much. Sandy says, I also prefer a balanced player with comps and strategy for fun. Ashley is great for this crop. I just not sure how she measures against some of the greats. She doesn't. But like, imagine she wins and we have an all winner season and she's on it. She has zero threat going into that game, right? Like she'd be one of the prime people to win because she has no target on her back because no one really sees her as one of the great winners. So look out for that if that ever does happen.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not that impressed by Mike Boogie's game either. I'm not either. I think Mike Boogie was basically carried because of Dr. Will. But I mean, he is a winner. And it's not just a social game. How are we? Oh, sorry. How are Veto and HOH decided? Not by discussion. It's an all-around game, and 100%. It's about winning competitions, social, and then strategic strategy as well, right? So like there's a mixture of those three things, but it is a social strategy game with comps being a big decider, and a lot of it's luck. A lot of it's luck on getting there as well.
And it also comes down to winning the comps at the right time, because sometimes you don't need to win right at the beginning because you are good with everyone. They're not going to nominate you. And then you need to win further on down the road to make your specific move to get a threat out of the game that you personally want. So it's all about timing in the game.
You have to show that like you took out the threats to your game and that you won power when you needed to. We've said it a million times where sleep for the first half of the game and the second half, come jury, really turn it on, win competitions, show that you're taking out the biggest threats or the people that are the biggest threats to your game, and then that will get you the most respect. Sandy says exactly. Fresh Show says my bottom 5 winners of BB1, Jordan Lloyd, 2, Lisa Donahue, 3, Maggie, 4, Josh Martinez, 5, Adam Jasinski. Those are all fair. I would probably put Maggie higher. I would probably put Maggie like bottom 7. But I would put Ashley like in replacement of that, right? If she wins, like I would probably put Adam and Josh lower. To be fair, I'd probably put her at 5. I'd probably put her at 5.
You just do the one replacement right there.
Maggie, Maggie, I would move up to 7 or 6, and I would put Ashley at 5 there. But I think all of those are very, very spot on. I'm trying to think of who else would be like a bottom 5. That we saw. I'd have to have the winners in front of me, but yeah, I think that's actually a pretty good list of what I'm thinking as well.
No, I think it's a solid list too, because the problem with Maggie's game is, I think as a whole, people really disliked the alliance, and so I think that also takes a dig at Maggie's game in general there. But I don't think she played a horrible game, so that's why I agree with you, where I would just do the swap and replacement there.
I'm pulling up the winners list because off my top of my head, it's that is not that is not Big Brother. What did I it didn't type Big Brother, just said US winners list. I was like, these are all athletes. What the hell is going on here? Big Brother US winners list. All right. So if I really look at it, right? So we've got, and this is not in order of actual seasons, I'm just going over Dick, Eddie from season 1, which I don't count. Will, Lisa, June, Drew, Maggie, Mike, Adam, Dan, Jordan, Hayden, Rachel, Ian, Andy, Derek, Steve Moses, Nicole Franzel, Josh Martinez, Casey Clark, Jackson Mitchie, which is funny because Jackson Mitchie, he actually played a pretty good game.
He did.
As much as I don't like him, he played a really good, that lie at the end to get the target on Tommy, that was a complete and utter bullshit lie, was genius. So I realistically don't even have him as like a bottom half winner. I mean, he's like right in the middle, right? But he's not a bad winner, just a terrible person. That Walmart.
That's what I'm saying. If we're ranking it on things that happen outside, there's a huge difference.
Yes, exactly. There's a big difference between personal opinion of them as a person or as a character on our screen and as an actual ranked winner.
Can I ask you one? Yeah. What do you think of Andy's win from 15?
Andy's win from 15. So Andy played a very good game. He is not one of my favorite winners, but Andy definitely ran that season and was a deserving winner. I put him in the top 10 winners of all time. I think it was a floater rat type of win, but I do put him as a top 10 all time.
Andy's always a tough one because you have people on different spectrums when it comes to Andy. Everyone thinks either super, super low or they really like the game. It's very polarizing when it comes to an Andy win. So I just wanted to see where you fell on there.
Here, let me do this real quick. I can pull this up. I will put us here and I will share my screen so everyone can see what I'm looking at. All right. So this is deny. All right, so this is the list, obviously. Don't know who Jack D is. I'm guessing that's UK Big Brother, but he's not supposed to be there. But we've got it in essentially every order. If I was really looking at this, right? And it's kind of crazy. if Ashley or even Morgan win, we've had what 5 straight people of color win Big Brother, which is incredible. It's incredible. We've never seen a run like that on reality television ever, possibly. So very much so here for that. Yeah, I mean, obviously Lisa's definitely down there. Maggie, I would put like bottom 6 or 7. I would put Jordan Lloyd number 1 because Jordan Lloyd, like, she just got there and she was just likable and everyone voted for her.
Yep.
Adam definitely down there. One of the worst winners of all time.
And
Mike,
the season was just off to begin with. I mean, they tried to do a winter thing, and that just was not.
It was just weird. It was a weird season. I actually liked it. It was so trashy. It was good.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think Drew Daniels got to be considered down there. I still think he is better than those people, but he's got to be down there. Someone put Steve in the bottom half, but I actually like Steve's game. I didn't have a problem with Steve's game. I thought Steve actually has, set himself up pretty well to build trust with that other side of the house. And his alliance with Johnny Mac is one of my all-time favorites.
Steve is middle tier for me, so I'm right there with you on that. I don't think it's the best, but I don't think it's horrible.
I think Jag is definitely bottom 3.
Yep.
But yeah, the rest are either middle or top tier for sure. I wasn't overly impressed with Xavier's game, but it wasn't a bad game either. I still think, top 3 all time, and most people would agree. Dan Giesling, number 1 for me. Number 1B would be Will, and then Derek would be 3rd. After that, I feel like it's a steep drop off between everyone else. Cody is deserving of one of the best winners. Now, I get why people would have a problem with me saying that. I totally understand. But, I mean, he got to the end with one of the best players of all time. Probably should have won had he just taken the shot at his friend. Also, he ran that house and had everyone on his side. So how can you not give him credit for that on Biba 22?
Now, in your personal opinion, does the entire season have to be good for the winner to be good? Because if you're talking about Cody's game there, yes, a lot of people have the knock on the All-Stars too, not necessarily liking it, but he did play a really, really good game.
It's a terrible season, but like, guys, think about the gameplay, not like not your opinions on the season or even the person. All he did was have to build social relationships, and he won a lot of competitions. And people just wanted to work with Cody. Like, he is a top tier winner. He got to the final 2 before as well. So like, you can't say he's not one of the top winners to ever play this game. Josh Martinez is down there. Jag is definitely bottom 3. I'm looking at it more and more like Hayden. Yes, to me, he's more mid because he had 4 people all working with him. So let me get back to some more of these comments because I'm sure people are having opinions on things. Ian played a terrible game. If he didn't win comps, he would have been gone early, easily bottom 3 with Dick and Jag. Oh, I disagree.
Yeah.
I disagree completely about Dick and Ian. I think Dick is a mid winner, but like, he was an enjoyable winner. And so for me, it's like, who can I say I'd rather have won that? Would you have rather his daughter win that season? Would you have rather had what was the guy that was 3rd place that was literally a nothing burger all season? Like, realistically, obviously, I would have loved Eric Stein to be there, but I would definitely say Dick was the most deserving and was the biggest character on our screen that whole season.
The only thing I will defend is what people would say is having America's player on there, definitely with some of the votes, they got switched because of how America wanted them to vote. So that really did change up the dynamic of the season for sure. But I do still think Dick played a good game.
Yeah. Ashley would be aligned with Rachel, Hayden, and Jordan on an all-winner season. I could see that for sure. Who are your top wins for me? Is Chelsea, then Derek, then Andy, then Will. Dan do too much nonsense and put himself in danger for no reasons. I think that's a hot take if you don't think Dan is one of the best winners of this game. Like, Dan is number 1 with a bullet for me. Number 2 would be, it's like 1A, 1B, but like Dr. Will. And 3 would be Derek. And then I think there's everybody else. I think Chelsea played a great game too. Huh?
Dan wins again if he makes it in 14. Like, no doubt about it.
Well, he made it there, but he just didn't have the good social interaction.
No, yeah, that's what I mean. But like, he, as a viewer, I'm saying I think he could have won.
Oh,
I still
yeah,
don't. I don't take anything away from Ian's game. That's why I still don't think Ian is
1000%.
one of the worst winners by any means. But I still think Dan had all the pieces to be able to win that season and just couldn't get it done with the jury phase of it, because you can't. Dan's funeral goes down as one of the best moves. It does.
Yeah, it does, and he should honestly. He should be like our only 2-time winner ever. He should be.
Right. Exactly. That's what I mean. He should have taken that win, but again,
no
it
shot
doesn't
against
discredit Ian.
Yeah, Ian played a great game too and did what he had to do to get there. So I'm gonna give Franzel the 5th spot. That's fine. I could see why you would think that. Jackson for me is where I put Xavier and Cody right in the middle. I think that's fair. I still think Cody should be higher. I think Cody's top 10, but you can disagree all you want. That's fine. Vote Rachel on stream. Once again, you mean really getting that out there. Drew, the original DL evil gay right on the middle with Xavier, Cody, and Jackson. I would put Drew like behind all of those guys for sure. For sure. Cody, stop. He is mid. You're crazy if he thinks
But
he's mid.
is he mid because you don't like the season? That's where it comes down to me.
Yeah.
In terms of winners, because I'm not saying it was a great season, but I still think deservingly so, he played an excellent game to be able to win the season.
Yeah, I mean, he had everyone wanting to work with him. Like, how much better can you do social wise? And then to cut Nicole at the end, who you thought was possibly your biggest threat, and to know you have to take Enzo with you because Enzo can't win because he's not going to get the votes. It was kind of like a full circle moment where he should have cut Derek in 16 and he would have won, but instead he kept Derek because he was loyal. And this time he cut Nicole because he wasn't loyal. He knew he could beat Enzo. It was like a full circle moment. Like, I just think that there's a lot to Cody's game that I liked. Let's go over some of your guys' rankings. Dr. Will, Dan, Derek, June, Andy. That's a fair one. I totally can see why you would feel that way. I think June is like 7 or 8 for me, but I like June a lot. I might, let me see. Let me look at this list again. I think personally, my top 5 would be, obviously, I said it already, Dan and Will. So I'll go 1 and 2. Derek. I think number 4, if I'm being honest, number 4 might be Chelsea. Chelsea played a very, very dominant game. And like, honestly, it's one of the better winners we've had in the last like 5 years. Probably the best winner we've had in the last like 5 years. And then number 5, it's tough. It's tough. I'm honestly torn between Cody and Andy at 5. I think those are right there. So those would be like my top 5 or 6 if you would.
I would go Cody at 5. That's the biggest one I would change right there. But you run into the same scenario with Andy's season. I didn't like Big Brother 15. Oh my goodness, absolutely not. But it's hard to separate, again, disliking the season versus the player that won the season and them playing a good game or not.
Yeah, I agree. So then let's see here. Another one says, OCHB viewer, thank you. Welcome in. Dr. Will, Dan, Derek. Yeah, I think that's consensus, like top 3 all time. Dan Giesling is number 1 for me, but I've only seen a few seasons so far, currently watching BB12. Once you get to 14, you'll understand even more why Dan is number 1 if you haven't seen 14 already. Rachel and Will were the best players coming back. Rachel and Will were the best player coming back. I mean, are you talking about in the respective seasons? Because obviously.
I think talking about like returning to another season.
Like Will from this season or Dr. Will?
That's true. Like, I'm not clarified on there either.
Because if they're saying, because Will's come back on a second season, Rachel's come back on 2 more seasons since then. Like,
right.
If you're talking about Rachel and Dr. Will, like, yes, they were really good when they came back both times. Like, I mean, Rachel on her second time playing won. So, and then Dr. Will got to the Final 4.
Said yes at the bottom.
Which still doesn't clarify.
Which still doesn't clarify which one.
But yeah.
Dr. Will. Yes,
okay,
Dr.
yeah.
Will.
So yes. Then yes, I agree. I think they are 2 of the best players that have come back to their. I think Cody's right there too, though. Cody won on his second try. So I think you got to
I
say
still think
Cody's
Dan's the best though, coming back.
Oh, Dan too. Yeah. No.
Dan, I think
Dan.
Dan's still the best.
Absolutely. Nicole's another great example. Like there's a lot of people that have come back on their second try and played really well. Tasha talks, I just binged BB13 in 1.5 weeks. Damn, you grinded. That's the thing. Flop Enzo is what people think Ashley is. Yeah, maybe to some. I don't see her in that way. Morgan, POC or passing? No, POC. She's a person of color. If that's what you're saying. Yeah, she's definitely a person of color. We're gonna need a winners ranking stream. I'm basically giving that to you right now. I mean, we can have that in the future for sure. That's maybe off-season content for sure. You can't wait to watch. Let's see here. I'm voting about 3,000 times. That's crazy. Yes, Dr. Will. Nicole has 8 every time she's come back. Oh, absolutely. She's definitely one of the top ones too. I'd even say Rachel, Sandy says, I'd even say Rachel and Dr. Will are some of the best to show up on other shows as well. Absolutely. Like we're talking outside of even this. Yeah, Rachel for sure. Dan is in that category as well. Like him on the Traders, even though he didn't play well, he was still really good TV at least. But I mean, I don't know. I digress. It's tough to say, but there's so many. I've seen BB14. So glad Ian will be on the Traders. I'm excited to see Ian on the Traders as well.
I'm excited for that whole Traders cast, if I'm being honest. I think it's a good one.
There's too many housewives, in my opinion, on that season.
There always is, though.
I know there is, but I feel like there's like an exorbitant amount of housewives on this next season. Like usually we have like 5 to 6. I feel like this cast isn't it like 8 of them on there? I could be wrong.
Go back and check.
I could be wrong.
They're giving, they had to have Dorinda back, all right?
Do we?
I'm fine with it. I'm okay with it. That's okay with me.
I mean, Mama Kelsey over Dorinda all day.
If they do not make her a traitor, it is a mistake.
Oh God, I'm so here for that. Do we think Sesternino will be a traitor? Like, I feel like he's set up for that.
He is, but I think he'd be a really good faithful, though.
I don't know. I think that they're all going to come for the gamers. I really do think they're going to come for the gamers. I think the housewives have a bad taste, especially after the last 2 seasons. All right. OCHB viewer. Lisa is underrated, totally changed after Eric's eviction and stayed under the radar, and not voting her showmans back was a baller move, even if her vote didn't matter. Yeah, but I feel like that's all she did, right? Like that was literally the extent of her on that season. So, I mean, it's also the fact that, we all feel someone else should have won. BB14 would be 10 times better if Ian went out in place of Brittany. Oh, I love BB14. It's one of my all-time favorite seasons. So, I mean,
great one.
As much as I hated seeing Brittany go there, I would have loved to see Brittany last longer. BB14 is one of my favorite seasons. Also, I'm a little biased. I won quite a bit of money on Ian winning that game. So I had invested interest in Ian winning that game. So I am definitely biased. I will say that. Mahanda, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining the chat. Appreciate you. Hope you like the content. If you could have 5 returning players on the next season, who would you have come back and play? Are you talking about from any season? If we're talking about from any season, Vanessa Rousseau, number 1. As far as one season, I think,
Tiffany from BB23.
Okay. I can get on board with that. I would even like Keanu from this season. I would absolutely love to see play again. Maybe later on down the line, maybe not 28, but I would like to see him play again at some point. I would put, you know what? I will put 2 random ones that you guys may not agree with, but because they went out in such horrible circumstances, I would love to see them get a chance. Give me Jody from Big Brother 14 and Cameron. Come on. Like, they went out without even having a shot. Like, I would be all here for them having a second chance to play the game. Like, would you not be entertained to see Jody all these years later? I don't think we would get much out of her. Don't get me wrong, but I would love to see her to get a chance to play, righting all the wrongs from seasons past. But I'll give you a couple other ones just in case that didn't satisfy the itch. But
Listen,
I think
the Jody, I still have in my mind, just going and knowing that you're on the show and just being done night one, devastating. And also, let's be clear, Jody didn't have a chance in that comp.
no, she didn't have a chance. And who's he going to pick? These two young, fit girls, or poor, stepmom Jody over here. Like realistically, like there was a no-win scenario for anyone, right?
No.
It was just shit. It was such a shit twist. Just like Cameron on Big Brother 19. Oh, are you guys gonna let someone into the house, or like let something into the house? You have to vote this person out. Like, of course they're gonna let something into the house, or whatever it was. There was some kind of weird twist where it would let Paul back into the house. They're always going to choose that 99% of the time. And it sucks. At least he got voted out by people and he had a chance to save himself. I still think it's shit. I think especially someone with their dream to be on this show and they do everything they can to get on the show and get on the season, and then you do them dirty like that. I hate it. I hate it so much. Sandy said, agree on the Traders cast. I'm very excited. I'm so out on the Housewives universe at this point that I also prefer a little less, but they know they bring the drama. I get it, but for all the, oh my God, for all the Phaedras that you get on those seasons compared to the Dorindas and others that we get normally, like Phaedra was the outlier, right? They're expecting like all these housewives are going to come in and play like Phaedra, and it just does not happen. They are always just working with themselves, not really playing the game. Because guess what? They're not gamers. They don't know how to play in this kind of universe. So unless you're a Phaedra type, and I think Phaedra was the one outlier, when have we had a very entertaining housewife in this game that plays the game? That doesn't just coast.
Come on, Bobby. You're talking about Dolores here, right?
Exactly. Who doesn't just coast. Thank you for proving my point. Like, realistically, Phaedra was the one. She was phenomenal television, and she's the only one who I would ever want back on my screen. I could give two shits about the housewives. I know it's a hot take, but I don't care. All right, so Humane says Rachel, Brendan, Alyssa, Ashley, Will. Those would be the 5 he would want back. Very interesting. Trying to go through it. Donna Kelsey, what's her accolades? Being close to Taylor Swift, and that's all you need to be on TV.
Seriously, it doesn't matter. I know, as much as people say, why is Donna Kelsey there? I don't care, because no matter what happens, Donna Kelsey is going to be entertaining, because I don't think Donna Kelsey has any idea what she's getting herself into, and I'm living for it.
Yes. Mary says they really need to stop casting celebrities. I only want to see reality TV stars. Yep. And I'm really excited for when they do like the normal person version. I'm really excited for that. Yeah. And then yes, Jody. Yes, 100%. Honda, I absolutely agree. Jody and Cam, 100%. And I know Mary says it down here, and I'll get to Sandy's comment. Mary says, how will you exclude Glenn? Because Glenn to me is like third in that list, right? Like Glenn is like, yes, I knew there's always someone I forget, but Glenn is one I could just really give two shits to see back on my television screen. All right. And then Sandy says a more mature Keanu would be fun to watch. He does not get enough grace for being so young. Sure, he has some unconscious bias. He's also proven he's willing to learn and change. I agree. All of that I agree with 1,000%. And then I'd only want to see Keanu back if Rachel is on the cast. Oh, that would be really good.
But Rachel, no shot Rachel's ever doing it again. Nope, not after this. You're not going to get that scenario.
Could you imagine Rachel and Keanu on Survivor?
She would do that. I could see her doing that.
And I think Keanu would do it too.
I think Keanu ends up on the challenge though.
I think so too. I want Keanu and Rachel to play Tar together. Oh, that would be great. That would be so good. I don't even regularly watch Tar, but them going through the experience together, TV Gold, maybe Platinum. I agree. I think that would be phenomenal television. And on the same season, you have Vince and Morgan. Oh, could you imagine? Could you imagine?
Insanity.
It'd be so good. All right, guys. So it is 2:15 over here on the West Coast. I've got to get out of here. I got to get ready for work here in a bit. Listen, this was a fun emergency stream. We just wanted to talk about the finale. Real quick, actually, before I get out of here, so don't hop out just yet. Let me pull up the Big Brother 27 jury. I do want to go over the votes real quick. Who we think. Let me see here. So I'll just pull up this. That's a bad picture. We'll pull up this one right here. All right. So if it's Ashley and it is Vince, right? I think Ava votes Ashley. I think Kelly votes Ashley.
Yep.
Lauren votes Vince. Sorry. Yep. Morgan, Vince.
Yep.
Keanu, toss up.
That's going to be a toss up one for sure.
But I think he votes Ashley because screw you, Vince. Will votes Ashley. And then we're missing Rachel, but I think Rachel votes Ashley. I think Ashley wins, 7-2?
Yes.
And then Morgan, obviously, we know she smashes either of them. I think Ashley maybe gets one vote, and then I think Vince gets Lauren, and that's it. So just to give you guys some perspective, but yeah. Let's see here. Sandy says, put Bobby in CBS casting. Hey, listen, for one, like casting for actual people for the show or getting myself cast on the show. I mean, if it was me getting cast on the show, we'll see. I'm putting out some applications for Survivor and the Traders normal person version, but we'll see.
I love how you call it the normal version.
Well, I mean, what else do you call it? Like, is it like going to be Traders US?
Civilians. I feel like civilians sounds better than normal.
I don't know. Like, it's so hard for me to like really put into like what is the actual wording going to be. So I don't know.
Just
okay,
non-reality stars.
Normies.
Normies.
Traders
sure,
normies.
I can go with normies.
Rest in peace, the stream. He says, put it more Rachel votes. Got to get that in there again. Wow. Sandy with the $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Sandy. You're a real one. I appreciate you. You're always in here contributing. And then also you've been very, very generous to me. So W to Sandy in the chat. Thank you so much. Thanks again to everyone for a great stream. Enjoy the finale. May your favorite win. I agree. If you guys disagree with our takes, like our takes, doesn't matter. We appreciate you guys all just being here. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a sub, twitch.tv/Bobby Goodsby or at youtube.com/aftershow if you want to find us on YouTube. Help us out, guys. Leave us a comment. It doesn't matter. Sandy, thank you again so much for the $20 donation. I absolutely appreciate you. You are a real one. And thank you to everyone else who is in the stream. Guys, even if we're here just reading your comments, I appreciate everyone's here. You guys know that I value you guys being a part of this conversation because without you, I would not be able to do this. And Lauren, most importantly, thank you as well for being here and joining me for this episode.
Of course, I had a blast. I'm happy that we were able to do this, slotted me in. I literally was messaging you and I said, I'm free. I can come pop in. And it's been a great discussion, whether people like our takes or not. It doesn't matter. They're in here, they're talking, they're commenting, and it's been fun answering all of them.
Yes, I agree. So glad you're trying out for Normie Traders. Best of luck. Thank you. And Lauren is too. So best of luck for her as well. Bobby, please cast me. I'm smart enough to pass the CBS psych test, but I'm a train wreck. If I had the chance, you'll be at the top of my list. All right. And then a lot of Rachel's for for AFP in here. You guys are the best. Humane, Sandy, Fresh Show, Mary, Mahonda, all of you guys. OCHB viewer, you guys are all awesome. Tasha's Talks, thank you all. Too many to name, but thank you guys all for being part of the discussion. And I will be live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 12 noon Pacific to 2 p.m. Pacific. And Monday, we'll be going over the finale and everything that happens on the finale. So definitely check that out and check out all of our other great podcasts we do at Reality After Show. So with that being said, I will see you guys on Monday. Thanks again, Lauren, and have a great night, everybody.